Ladies and gentlemen, Tactical Advance here, and welcome to a TAC Chat. Now, it's been a couple of months since I've done the last one. I thought I'd do one today, and also I've got some questions I'm going to answer as well that are over quite a lot of my videos. Firstly, about the intro, where did it actually come from? Well, the intro came quite naturally, really. I just sort of created it. Just started by going, ladies and gentlemen, Tactical Advance here. A lot of people were saying, oh, what's with the gap between ladies and gentlemen, Tactical Advance? Where did it come from? For starters, I never knew it was actually going to be a thing. I just started talking and that was the first thing I said. And I've always been comfortable with starting the video like that because I feel like you've got to start it some way. And now the pause between at the start, it was more emphasised when I first created the channel. And believe it or not, it was my anticipation of preparing myself to talk for half an hour, remembering what I've got to say. I used to go, ladies and gentlemen, and then I was thinking, right, okay, ready for this. Tactical Advance here. And that's where the gap come from. It wasn't actually intentional. It was probably me being slightly nervous and trying to recap and taking that pause to prepare myself for a quite long talking session. So that sort of stuck really, and then it ended up being a bit of a thing. Everyone keep saying, ladies and gentlemen, and keep doing it. I thought, wow, didn't even realise I actually created something. I suppose that's in some ways the best way to do it, I guess. Now, a lot of other people asked me about my microphone and what setup I've actually got. I originally started, believe it or not, if you go back to some of the older videos, I used the Sennheiser 360 headset. I used that for quite a long period of time. I made 100, 150 videos with that, I think. Then I went to a Rhodes NT2. That's what I've got at the moment, and I'm using a Tuscan preamp. It's 48 volt. The diaphragm mics tend to make the audio sound more personable. It seems to just make things sound a lot better. That's what I found. The only downside with using a microphone like this, you have to sit somewhere with absolutely no background sound. I mean, it could be where I'm recording at the moment. Every time I record, I have to take the clock out the room. I mean, it's that sensitive. It will pick up a ticking clock, someone walking past, door closing. I'm actually recording this at home at the moment, and the dog just walked in, and I had to ask the dog to leave because the microphone will actually pick up the dog's paw prints as she's walking around on the wooden floor. So I'm going to stick with this one, guys. It wasn't particularly cheap, but I've had it for 2.5 years now, 2 years, and it's earned its keep, I think, and I'm going to stick with it. But if you're starting out, and I would say that probably one of the better ones to go for, really, just out of the box, is I'll just go with the Yeti. Yetis are really good. You can put them on a boom. The sound quality is really good. I do put all my audio through Premiere Pro, particularly when I'm recording at work because there's an air conditioning unit and I've got to remove that sound. And so I do run it through Auditions just to sort of tidy it up a little bit. Apart from that, that's about it, guys. And then I'll just overlay music over the top so you get the idea. A question that gets asked quite a lot, and that's about my content. Obviously, I'm only doing Star Citizen now. I'm not saying that's not going to change that later on down the line. Probably more likely keep with space games and stuff like that because I genuinely enjoy playing it, and I think if you enjoy playing or covering content, then the audience will pick up on that one as well. It doesn't have to be forced on you, if you know what I mean. I originally started the channel off the back of playing DayZ, and you know, I've had my channel for 5 years or something, getting 1 or 2 views per video. It's a long slog getting here. Then sort of moved on and mixed up with World of Tanks. Also did Warframe as well. I made quite a few videos on Warframe. The problem I had with them, guys, is them genres were already dominated by other people, and there's big successful YouTubers covering them games off already when I started. You're competing with the giants, and it was very, very difficult. And then once I sort of started doing Star Citizen, getting a little bit of traction, I just thought, look, I'm getting some good traction here. I really enjoy making the content. I'm going to stick for this now. I understand that a lot of my subscribers have supported me for a very long period of time. And secondly to that, there's another reason for the Star Citizen choice as well, which is lifestyle, guys, because back in the day when I was making videos every day, I enjoyed doing it. It's like having a dog, right? I know it sounds crazy, guys, right? Dog, we all know a dog's not for Christmas. I've had my dog for 15 years now and it's there all the time. You don't know where you're going to be in 4 years' time. When I say you don't know where you're going to be, you don't know where you're going to be living, you don't know where your PC's going to be, you don't know if you're going to make audio again. And the same with the dog, you know. So when you get a dog, you get it for 15 years, right? There's no way that you're going to be living, or there's a high possibility you're probably not going to be living in that same house in the next 15 years. That's something else to take into consideration. So the content that I was making back then, doing videos every day, every second day, that fitted into my lifestyle quite well then. I was making them at work, my boss would go at 5:30, could make the video. Some days he didn't come in, so it was great. And unfortunately that changed. And when that changed, it did affect the channel, but to a point where Star Citizen came up, so great for me. And the fact that Star Citizen's not here yet and it's in development is sort of helping me out in my life a little bit, because I don't have the facilities to make videos like I did before. It being a slow burner is sort of good news for me at the moment, guys, because I don't have the capability of making videos every second day or every day. If I could, I would, but I just don't have the technology and I just don't have the stuff to do it. Something else has been asked a few times as well. I mean, will I actually live stream or do any of this other stuff? I mean, it sort of comes down to the same thing of sort of just explain really about, you know, lifestyle. It's very difficult for me to stream because I feel like if I'm going to stream, I want to stick to a schedule so I don't let down the subscribers. You know, I want to stream maybe once or twice a week, set a time, be there, do it, so people can schedule their life around to come and watch the stream. Otherwise, if you're sort of flip-flopping all over the place, you know, doing different times, then I think that dilutes down the people that are watching in the audience. That's my take, and I can't even commit to one day at the moment, so I feel like that's sort of off the cards. But going back to the dog scenario, who knows what's going to happen in the next year? You know, if things change in my life that give me the ability to stream, then clearly I will do it. So it's not off the cards. It's just something that I just physically can't do at the moment. And the last question on the agenda that's come up a couple of times, I have been asked quite a few times, and this is regarding the events that happen, you know, the Star Citizen events, you know, the official one and the non-official ones as well, like the Star Citizen meetups and stuff like that. The majority of the time so far, the events have been quite far away, and the main ones obviously been in Birmingham, Frankfurt, obviously Germany. It's not that far away from me. It's a few hour flight, maybe 2 hour flight, short haul flight. A big part of it is getting the money to actually go and do it. And then secondly to that, I do work a lot. I normally have a day off in the week and then sometimes work at the weekends. And most of the time that I get free, I believe it or not, I spend it on TeamSpeak inside the organisation. That's my sort of free time really, and enjoy spending my time there. I have been making a little bit of effort to communicate with other people inside of Star Citizen, you know, I mean like other YouTubers and stuff like that. It's not like I haven't been doing it. You know, I speak to Super Mac Brothers and there's a few others I talk to. I've spoken to SEO Youngblood before and spoke to a good few of them, but I just don't get the time to do it really. And the other challenge is they're on the other side of the planet. So when I'm going to bed, they're getting up. And the problem I've got is that when I'm at home, I probably told you this before, when I'm inside the house and everyone's in the house, I can't talk in the house. There's one thing having this voice, guys, and it sounds great for doing sort of, you know, commentary and stuff like that. Because I've got quite a deep voice, when I'm in the house, I wake everyone up. Everyone moans. I've even had the neighbours complain before. It's not perfect, so it does come with its downfall. So when I get home from work, you know, maybe 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, and there's someone that wants to talk to me on Skype, I can't do it. It's not like I'm being rude or I don't want to do it. Once again, going back to the old the dog story, how my life is at the moment, and there's not much I can do to change it at the moment. I'll just have to hold out for a little bit, and then hopefully things will change later on down the line. Anyway, guys, a bit longer than I normally probably would have gone on for, but it's nice to have these conversations where you can just talk freely, really, and, you know, not go down to the scripted line of covering content or stuff like that. Yeah, and you also hear a little bit what's going on in my world and what's going on. If you've got any questions that you want to ask for the next TAC Chat, just put it in the comments below. Plan to do one probably in the next maybe month or so. We'll see how it goes anyway. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.